In 1943, during the height of the World War, a group of statisticians were looking at V-7 fighter planes. They discovered something interesting. Most of it were covered in bullet holes. But a particular mathematician, his name is Abraham Wald, he saw something different, not just the entire bullet holes covering the entire fighter planes. He realized that they were only looking at the planes that actually returned, and then the patterns of bullet holes, weren't showing them where they needed to add ammo. Like, um, there's actually popular theory called survivorship bias, where because you survived something, you are in some way blinded by what actually made other people fail in those areas where you seemingly had an advantage. And the real pattern for him, for Abraham Hold, was okay, these places where he looks beyond the survivorship bias. He looked beyond the patterns um, that were not showing, the areas that were not fit. This, like the empty space for the engines, the cockpits, this was what was causing planes not to return back. And when they improved and added armors in those areas, well, more planes began to return. Hello everyone, my name is Meka and welcome back to this video series. As always, it's good to have you here. The story I alluded to earlier is a perfect example of how you can see and recognize a pattern correctly and it will literally save lives. What if I tell you that it is not only in war that there are patterns. Well, almost in every area of life, cooking, music, sports, there are patterns you could see and recognize. And if you apply some of those patterns, it will literally be life saving. Yeah. Today we'll be talking about pattern recognition and transference. We're going to learn how to stop seeing the world as a collection of separate boxes. We're going to start seeing that a lot of things are interconnected. A lot of learning areas are connected. A lot of um, even some of the seemingly unconnected areas are actually really connected. Think of pattern recognition as a mental shortcut. It's one of our brain's ways to make sense of chaotic situations. You literally, when you are you enter into a new sphere, a new space, there are some things that you have seen before that in some way you can guess and estimate how some things will pan out. That's a principle called transference. And one way you can get good at pattern recognition is if you can train yourself to learn to deconstruct things, to learn to break things down into simple bits. This will help you son. Say you're learning to play a chord in music, you can deconstruct and find the building blocks that will make the whole. Yeah? When you deconstruct, it will allow you to reapply or bring those things back together and see how they work. Yeah? It works across board. It works across board. You could even begin to find metaphors you could use when you are explaining your points or your thoughts process. This is pattern recognition at work. And the more you pay attention to it, the more you pay attention to deconstructing things, the more conversant you are, the more better you get at recognizing interconnected lines. And the better you are at work, at whatever it is you're looking to get better at. Yeah, the world isn't made up of silos. It is made up of um, echoes, echo chambers. Yeah, what you learned while playing basketball as a kid or football as a kid, there are things you can apply. Even there are examples you could use, there are illustrations you could pull from all of that, and then it will be easier to connect or communicate your thoughts. Yeah, deconstruct it and find ways to reapply it to your own use case. I've been Bright Maker. Thank you for staying with me today. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.